about it. And it was not really this specifically. Okay. So it all started when FaZe Clan, and this is actually, it's more important. So FaZe Clan signed a new content creator, and the new content creator was actually leaked by, I think it was FaZe Rain. A lot of the people that are involved with FaZe, the content creators and faces of the organization, are not happy because it seems like the, you could say that the clan or the company, I think this is more accurate for nowadays, is effectively now a marketing tool. So it got leaked, and this is the video for it. Here we go. Let's watch it.
I'm Grace Van Deen. I'm Bluefy. It means blue girl. Fee is girl in French. I wanted blue girl, but it was taken, and I love French, so don't speak it very well, but I wish I did. I'm a bit of a homebody. I'm an actress, but I like to stay home, so streaming is perfect.
Good actress, not a good liar.
Wow! The baskets.
Shut up. $100 if you make the shot right now. Oh, you're not gonna look.
Wow.
Cash.
I grew up in Los Angeles. I started gaming because my dad was a gamer.
I remember when we first started gaming together, I was always very scared. Like in Super Smash Bros, I would hide and try not to get involved in any of the fighting. Like everyone.
I would do that too, and then I'd come in at the end and kill everybody and then win. That way I never had to give up the controller, because like if you were last place, you'd have to give up the controller if there's like 5 people.
To be fighting, and I'd play Kirby so I could fly away.
Just sitting there spinning the whole time, bouncing up around in the air. We'd all be like, and Grace would be like, and she'd win a lot.
See? It works.
I feel like your path is paved with magical fairies. You're kind of just like, I'm gonna do this, and then it happens. And it's actually really inspiring as a person to just be like, oh my god, if she can do anything, like, I can do it. This is fucking crazy.
I couldn't be more proud of her. She's just killing it in everything she's doing.
I always felt like a personal connection with my dad, but as far as his career, I never related to it growing up. Some people would know him from Starship Troopers. I got into acting because
What does this have to do with FaZe?
I wanted to be a psychologist or a writer for therapeutic reasons, and then when I found acting, I discovered that that was much more therapeutic. Stranger Things was my favorite show, is my favorite show, so when I got the call that I could be a part of it, I really just thought I was gonna go work with like these cool people and then go home and never hear about it again. So it's turning into a majority of my life now. It's really cool. Really, when I was 17, I discovered Twitch through Tumblr. And there was this girl on Tumblr that I followed, and she would stream herself painting and creating little mold arts. So I didn't even know that Twitch was big in gaming until I did a deep dive into it. I like playing Valorant. I like to rage.
Wait. So she went and teabagged him? Oh my god. Maybe she does belong in like a gaming org or something. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I'm gonna be real, I think this might have changed my outlook on the whole thing.
And I like playing Among Us. That I'm good at. Maybe it's the acting in me, but I'm a good liar. When I first started streaming, it just was not kicking. Sometimes that got me down a bit, but then I saw that the 20 to 40 people I did have were the same 20 to 40 people every day, and I'm able to build relationships and friendships with these people, and I laugh so much. The loneliness that you feel in life gets completely taken away when you're streaming, even if it's to a small group, because everyone is just so friendly.
I love that she doesn't feel like she has to fit into a box or like present herself in a specific way. Yeah, I feel like she's just like, this is me. You know, take it or leave it.
I first heard of FaZe Clan really when I started streaming, and I kind of associated it with bros. It wasn't until I met with you guys that I was like, oh no, this is home. This is like a second home.
Yeah.
Estrogen. No, it's incredibly important to have female representation. Gaming is already such a male-dominated area, and entering a male world was a little bit intimidating, but hearing your approach to it and have me help with that feels right. I did an interview 4 years ago, and they asked me what I want to do with the next 5 years of my life, and my answer was I want to do something that matters. And I didn't know what that looked like, and I didn't know what that meant or how I would do that. But this feels like I'm going down the right path.
And there's the video. So a lot of people had pretty mixed receptions of this, and I had never watched it. This is my first time watching it. And I think really I mean, they just kind of said it at the end. I mean, I don't know how you can bring in somebody as like, just like saying, like, we're bringing this person in because they're a woman. Like, how is this not patronizing? You know, like, I feel like that's incredibly patronizing, and it just makes them look bad. It's tokenism. Yeah, it is. She did it to herself? Well, I don't know. I'm not saying like it's anybody's specific fault or anything like that. I'm just commenting on the situation. I think that really whenever you have a, you know, an organization that's built around Call of Duty, it's built around like gaming in general, and you bring somebody in that's completely from outside the space, even if they do play video games and do that kind of stuff, it's going to be kind of jarring, and it'll feel kind of odd, especially considering that it seems like this was a decision that was made for a corporate reason, you know? Is everybody going to call Scream's damage control? Well, I don't know. She's personality, not a pro gamer. No, I understand that. I definitely do. But can you see how people that were fans of FaZe Clan, for it being a gamer org, would not be super receptive of just having an actress added into a gaming org in order to fill a diversity quota? I think people would think that's weird. And I felt the same thing, by the way. Like, FaZe has done this before. They did it with Snoop Dogg. Like, Snoop Dogg, like, he's a rapper. What the fuck does he have to do with FaZe? Why did they bring him into FaZe? Like, this is not even the first time that they did this. It's just weird for me, man. It's very weird. And so a lot of people from FaZe are really upset about this, and you know, there's like content creators, some of the like original people involved at FaZe. Let's go back, and I'm gonna take a look at it right here. So obviously, like this guy says, not participating in the sellout clown show that FaZe Clan has become. This is FaZe Banks. This guy basically was one of the first. I think he pretty much started FaZe. So you know, read what he says. Not sure what this take says about you, but the name FaZe only has any sliver of meaning left because of what we built using it, and you're using it. This is the problem. You're all just here to squeeze every last dollar out of FaZe and have zero respect for the brand. It's all shameless promotion, pandering to a non-existent audience, and pretending like it's a team effort. Nobody would ever argue in favor of this version of FaZe. It's so disingenuous to the point where it makes it all sick, and we're the only ones, unfortunately, who are interested in preserving history and protecting the brand. I think he's right. But who sold FaZe? You know? Interesting question, isn't it? Where's FaZe's importance that they have everyday gamer on the game industry as a whole? Just asking from you, they don't really mean anything to me. Well, I mean, I mean, what do you mean? It's the same as any gaming org, really. It would feel pushed and fake if they're only into pro players and they invite non-pro, just for diversity. I think that it's really like, there's a lot of people that are in the gaming space. I think this is really what the problem is it's not even really about like whether it's a pro player or not. It's about whether it's an established personality in the gaming space. So what this seems to me like is that FaZe is trying to transition to being more of a lifestyle brand rather than a gaming brand. And in doing so, you're going to alienate a lot of people who were there for it being a gaming brand. And I think that's what a lot of these people who are, you know, like FaZe fans or people that were in FaZe that have been in FaZe for the better part of 10 years, that's what they're really saying. Is that, you know, they see this happening and it's like, I don't think that that's, like, how many other lifestyle brands are there? What makes FaZe different? I mean, obviously it's not working. Look at their stock value. Let's see here. It's not like they're full transitioning though. They can do both, right? I think in a lot of cases you end up doing neither. Whenever you try to appeal to two, like you can't appeal to two completely different groups of people. You have to kind of like pick a cluster of people. It weakens your brand. Yeah, it's like the identity of your brand is weakened a lot. And it makes a lot of money on the sale of FaZe. Lets corporate take over and do what they want, then blames everyone else for trying to pick up the pieces after he cashed out. Well, I'm not really sure about all the nuances and the specifics. I'm just saying in general, this is... I can see why people are really kind of weird about this. Now, obviously, a lot of people congratulated her. I mean, this Grace girl, I mean, bro, she killed somebody in Valorant and teabagged them. She's a gamer for all I care, right? I think anybody could fucking agree with that. But the difference is that whenever you're signing somebody like that doesn't have like an established reputation in the gaming space, and you're bringing them in from an outside, an outside group, like an actor and, like mainstream type celebrity, that's gonna feel weird to the people that are part of that original core community. And are they wrong to feel like they're not being pandered to or catered to whenever this is something that they are a part of? I think it's their right to feel that way. So there's tons of chicks myself who are actually good and commit their time and they choose these individuals. That's my issue with diversity hires. Well, I think that the reason why the other girls that are good at video games didn't get hired is because they're not famous actresses. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's obviously the difference here, isn't it? Like, are we crazy? Let's see here. FaZe is now a complete joke because of this. After years of being check notes, complete joke. Well, I mean, FaZe is very well known. I think they're, they've been very successful for many years. A lot of people know of FaZe, right? For better or for worse, people know of FaZe. Let's see here. I'll read a couple of these and then I'm going to move on. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Last time you saw any OGs at meetup? When's the last time you saw any OGs at pod events?
Well, it's obvious that, and there's a reason, by the way, like I have advocated a lot for like the identity of FaZe, but can we also acknowledge that the original identity of FaZe is not a, it's not squeaky clean. You know, there's been a lot of situations, a lot of instances that have happened over the years. And listen, FaZe is a massive brand. There have been hundreds of people in FaZe. Of course, there's going to be dumb stuff that happens, but you can see what they're saying.
I'm asking a dead ass question. Whatever your guys' beef with the management side has nothing to do with supporting COD players, CSGO players.
You're seeing this with a lot of esports organizations, is that they're transitioning away from actually investing into esports. Is like, that's why I, like, at the beginning, I was like, bro, like, with OTK, like, I didn't want to invest a lot in the esports. This shit ain't going nowhere. Like, like there's no way this shit's gonna happen. And so, like, I see more people starting to realize, like, hey, you know, like, trying to put all your eggs in one basket with a video game that can just lose, you know, you've got a $20 million buy-in to a franchise. Well, of course people aren't going to want to do that. Of course this isn't profitable.
I'm watching Tico stream his ass off support.
The way that that Moist Moguls does it is very good, because Charlie and Ludwig use that, they use the esports teams for content, and then the content, like the esport teams can function as a loss leader for them to generate content about the esports teams that then makes the esports teams fundamentally worth it. If I looked at their sheets, that's probably what they did. And I think that's smart to do. They're still losing money? Yeah, they're probably, but they're not losing as much money, probably.
The CSGO team, but it's been years. When's the last time we've all gotten together, bro? When's the last time? You know what's funny? We did have a meeting at the FaZe headquarters about how we can try and revive the FaZe YouTube. Guess who was there? This was 8 months ago, maybe, no, 6 months ago. You know who was there? Me, Chris, Jay, Adapt, Booyah, and nobody fucking else, bro. Nobody else.
Everybody's trying to do their own thing. That's just how it is in general.
Who's there? Everybody was invited. Everybody was invited to try and revive the FaZe YouTube. And there was only five.
Because they don't give a fuck. Because they want to go and do their own thing. I get that, right? It makes a lot of sense. And also, like, maybe that's not the right option to revive the FaZe YouTube. Maybe it's a better option to, you know, build up individual brands instead. You know, I'm not saying that's like the right option for sure.
Talent that showed up. Everybody does talking, but nobody fucking takes action, bro. That FaZe Clan YouTube that you guys used to love watching is fucking dead because nobody does anything.
Well, I think the reason why is that, like, they collab with each other and do stuff together as much. And also, like, I feel like FaZe, like, the market's way more saturated than whenever FaZe was, like, massive, maybe, like, 8 years ago or something like that. Somebody says FaZe pays Nick Merckx $1 million a year and he does nothing for the brand other than throw a logo up on his stream. And for Twitter, good for him. Companies run like shit. I mean, I feel like, is that not fair? I mean, I don't know. Like, he's a massive content creator. A lot of people know him. He's like one of the top he's one of the top FPS streamers, like, on the entire website. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's doing pretty well. Yeah, he's bringing in a lot of stuff for him. Yeah, he's probably carrying Apex, FaZe, and COD. Well, I feel like if you go and you look at, like viewership hours for FaZe, I bet Nick Merckx is #1 on that by a long margin. I could be wrong, but I would assume that. The problem is he never pushes FaZe. He only pushes his own brand. Does Nick Merckx push FaZe? Like, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I haven't watched enough. Like, I used to watch Nick Merckx all the time whenever Warzone 1 came out. I haven't watched Nick a lot recently, so I'm not sure. He co-owns FaZe Clan? Yeah, there is that. That's true, but how does that benefit FaZe? The argument's just that FaZe are throwing money at people for no profit. You know what I think it really is? I think is that they don't really know what to do. I don't think they even know what they want to do. They're just trying to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And so they're bringing on Snoop Dogg. They're paying Nick Merckx $1 million. They're bringing on some actress. And they're just trying to see if there's something that's going to work. There's no leadership, yeah. And I think that's kind of what's happening, I guess.
Going down the right path.
Let's see here.
God, FaZe! FaZe subs! Yeah! I can't help it but to just laugh and troll the situation, bro. I've been going through it for so long with FaZe, and it's like I've just hated it for so long that I could do nothing but troll at this point. Nah, that was a movie. That was a movie for sure. But yeah, once again, Grace, I heavily apologize that you're kind of in the middle of this. You seem like a very nice innocent girl, and you have no like part of this, and you don't really understand what's going on.
Well, it's just nothing to do with her. Like,
dates you have no idea. So don't think it's personal to you at all. It's just I have to make my point. It's true. What I'm saying is not wrong. I know what I'm talking about. I'm like one of the people that built this industry. The only other person that could talk to me about this or question me is Nate Chubb, to be honest. Like I'm not listening to anybody else. Like,
that is impossible.
Like who? Like what? Like you're crazy. I'm not no disrespect, no cocky shit, but you're crazy. Like people are gonna tell me how this industry works. Are you crazy? And at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing is right. I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm not just doing this for my FaZe brothers. I'm doing this for all of y'all too. Everybody in this industry.
I mean, this does kind of sound like a bit of a schizo rant. Like, I'll be honest. But okay. Like, if you're gonna say something like that, let's see the receipts. Let's see like where. You know, I have no problem with ego Andys. Okay, I am one. But if you're gonna be an ego Andy, you better come with the fucking receipts. So let's see what his opinion on it is.
For all of y'all, I'm trying to not allow structure other industry happen to our industry, bro. I don't want that to happen. In the acting industry, in the music industry, in the sports world, like, bro, for every $1 million an athlete or a musician makes, there's an old white guy making 10 times that on top of it.
Is he an owner of FaZe? He's a founder? So he knows what the cap table for FaZe is. But he has no say. Of course he does. Like, he knows everything. Yeah, like, I feel like, how is it that these guys are, they're so upset about this? Isn't this like... It's not like these you know, rich white guys that are making 10 times as much money. It's not like they just showed up out of nowhere. Didn't they sell parts of the company to them? I feel like that's what happens whenever you get investment. That's how it goes.
Just so you know, that's how those industries work. And they're trying to make this industry like that too. They're trying to make it so they control you, bro. They're trying to make it so you couldn't exist without them, couldn't make money without them. It's a structure that's in every industry. And I just don't want that to happen to this industry, bro. I'm going to keep being vocal about it. I want every creator and every person that takes the risk to have a life like this to win. And you put in all that time and effort and work, and like, you deserve it. You know what I mean? Not for some old fuck to take that shit away from you. I don't believe in that. Or even a young fuck, even myself. Like, you deserve that. There needs to be a fair world, and their world is just not fair, and it's old, and it's outdated, and it's wrong. It's wrong.
I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I definitely am.
The reason I was signed with FaZe is because I was on Stranger Things. I'm sorry, sir. Were you in the meeting with us? Were you there? No, I've never fucking met you.
Be main.
And that is not why FaZe signed me. Like, that is definitely how I got the meeting. Yes, I will definitely give that credit. That is how I got the meeting. But that is absolutely not
Right,
Free
89.
suppressed.
For you
Why I
back
was
down,
signed.
B. One enemy remaining.
Where's she at?
the things that we spoke about in the meeting are why it happened.
Oh my god.
So, get fucking wrecked. To everyone saying that, and
Their
to,
Phoenix
to
may
Rain
feel
for saying that. Like,
I shall remind you just how
What a weird situation. Yeah, what a
I'm
really
saying with FaZe
Jesus,
is
what a weird
because-
situation. Oh my god. I feel bad for her. I mean, I do too, because like she probably didn't understand entirely like what all the context of this was. She thinks this is going to be some cool thing. You know, she talks to like her agent, they tell her it's a good idea, and then she gets thrown in the middle of this in between a bunch of fucking 28-year-old dudes that are trying to play hot potato of whose fault it was that they sold their company. Like, now, I also don't think it's a big deal that like like I do think that like her being like, let's be real guys, like her being in a massively popular TV show, I think that played a big role in her being involved in FaZe. How can you possibly say that's not one of the reasons? She even admitted herself that this was something that got her the interview. Of course, it's the primary reason. Well, it's not the only reason. There's other factors too. But the point that I'm making is that, like, I don't think that that's even a problem. But I think that if that's the reason why you're bringing people into FaZe, it's obvious that they're trying to diversify away from being just a gaming org into being a lifestyle org. And in doing so, you're going to have a lot of people that are into it being a gaming org feel like they're being alienated. I think that's fair. Listen, we're gonna, would you ever sign a big streamer, a lot of money, just to showcase your logo on Twitch, on social media? It depends on what happens. Like, I don't like writing blank checks, you know? TSM does this well and successful. What's the problem? TSM does this well and it is successful. What's the problem? Well, because it seems like this isn't going well. That's the problem. So that's the issue right there. And it's like if this was going well and people didn't feel this way, I don't think it would be as much of an issue. TSM's widely hated now. I have no idea. I have no. Bunch of 40-year-old men complaining about a woman in New York.
Going down right.
True, brother. I don't really think that's all of it though. Let's be honest. No esports team is doing well. There's no ecosystem for these esports teams. Well, there never was an ecosystem for the esports team. There was just venture capitalism money that just kept them on life support. And then eventually, after 10 years, people thought, hey, you know, maybe let's pull the plug and see what happens. And it seems like nature's taking its course. Big surprise that these overproduced, you know, like massively inflated events and all this money, millions of dollars going into this, doesn't actually translate to anything. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Esports was invented by the gaming industry to promote bad products. Oh, fuck that. StarCraft was awesome. Suck a dick. Yeah, right. Average esports fan spends $5 a year. There's a 3-year peak where some lucky people could put gaming in their resume, and now we're going back to normality. Well, yeah, I think something like that. Is having their live stream in 35 minutes. Okay, it's in 35 minutes. That's good. Give me 1 second. Just a second. She had the sign since she quit acting? Oh, I have no idea. I have no clue about her situation. After all this, Santana posted an apology on Twitter. OG FaZe members before appearing to joke that he was leaving the org. Okay, FaZe Clan. See, this is the problem here. And I'm gonna be honest, all right? This is sad. It's sad, man. I remember many years ago, a young Asmongold, a young Nick Pollum, a young Trainwrecks Television, and a young Cloaksy we went downtown to record a video, and Cloaksy had to have a phone call and he couldn't be in the video, and that phone call was the first phone call he ever made with FaZe. And on the car ride home, I told him, you should take the offer for FaZe, no matter what, even if they don't pay you anything, because they are one of the only orgs that can really help you and blow up your presence online. And he did go with FaZe. You know, I think that everybody pretty much in that car told him the same thing. And, you know, he went on to be massively successful. He's still massively successful. He's literally in fucking Chipotle commercials with Tim. And it's sad to see what's happened. I think that at a certain point, you know, you made your bed, now lay in it. Definitely. Definitely, this is a situation that they have caused. But that doesn't make it any less sad. It sucks. I hope that they're able to turn it around. You know, FaZe Clan is one of the only... It is, as far as I know, it's the only publicly traded esports org, or like gaming org, that's out there, right? Like, I don't think any of the other ones are. They kind of represent gaming. Yeah, Astralis? I don't know if they are or not. Yeah, well, I don't even know about them. 100 Thieves? No, 100 Thieves isn't publicly traded. So, yeah, zoom out to 1 year. Oh, it's gone down a lot. I'm just saying, like, the stock used to be like $30 or something like that. They used to have a market cap of, I don't know, what was it, like $700 million or something like that? It was a lot. So yeah, it just sucks. Like, I hope they're able to... I feel like right now they're just having an identity crisis. And I hope they're able to figure it out before it's too late. Because it does seem like there's a massive disconnect between the people that are, you know, the suits that are running it and, you know, the original, like, old school personalities. And I can't really see that being... Oh, Jesus. I can't really see that being a good thing going forward. So, yeah, it's fucking sad to see this happen. It's already too late? I don't know if it is or not. I wouldn't say that yet, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I feel like I don't really watch any of the FaZe streamers because the ones I have, I didn't think they were very entertaining. All they have to do is put an F on their stream. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to find someone who dialed in the culture of esports, but present at board meetings with competence. Oh yeah, of course, right? I mean, that's a massive challenge. I think that happens all the time. It happens probably with every industry. Do you think it's intentional to remove the old guard away? I think that if it is intentional to remove all the old, like, faces of FaZe and, like, make it a lifestyle brand with, like, actresses and, you know, like, mainstream celebrities, like, they should probably go and do that, and maybe that would be more popular. But I'm just saying you can't do that and then expect to retain the original gaming audience. You've got to start effectively from zero at that point. So, like, yeah, they can do... Yeah, because I'm Kim Kardashian, go for it. But, you know, that's not necessarily going to appeal to that same audience. Esports is fucking collapsing. Investors have seen now it's not profitable. Well, I think that it was never really profitable. It's just that people thought that it would become profitable at some point in the future. Let's see here. This is a new video that came out. It's time for us to watch it. And we also have the Honkai Star Rail live stream that should be kind of soon. Do they have it? When is this actually happening? Is it open yet? No, it's not.
From this video. I'm hoping to get it.
Oh, God. Let's see here. No, it's not out yet. Oh, is it going to be on YouTube? Maybe it might just be on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Okay, well, we'll get ready and we'll watch it after this. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this first, though. The Book of Loras, Episode 3, The Lord of Terror. This is Diablo, by the way. They said delay until 11:30. Wait, it's been another delay? I thought it got delayed until 30 minutes from now. It's on 20 minutes. Okay, let's watch this now then.
Another night, and you brought more ale. Stronger stuff this time. Essential for keeping warm here in the Fractured Peaks. Pour me a cup. Tonight is a long, sad tale of bravery and betrayal, and the great blight of destruction that changed the very fabric of our world. When last we spoke of Inarius and Lilith, and humankind's creation. And caught by the eternal conflict, a battle that does not belong.
I'm sorry, I'm never going to not call this Kekistan. This is Kekistan to me, and nobody is going to stop that or take that away from me.
To humankind, but one we must fight nonetheless. Two rival groups, the Temple of the Triune and the Cathedral of Light, sprang up on the world of Sanctuary and strove to win over the hearts of mankind. The Triune was secretly backed by the three prime evils, Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo, who discovered Sanctuary's existence. Inarius secretly founded the Cathedral of Light in response, an attempt to counter their malevolent influence. Unbeknownst to either the prime evils or Inarius, Lilith returned to Sanctuary to reawaken her children's dormant powers, knowing they had the ability to banish the agents of the Burning Hells and Inarius for good.
Oh shit.
Soon after, Sanctuary was engulfed in what would become known as the Sin War, a catastrophic proxy war over the souls of humankind. Humanity won the war, but they faced another kind of battle. The high heavens too became aware of Sanctuary and her blasphemous children.
Uh-oh.
And now deliberated on humanity's ultimate fate.
Time for some crusades.
With the Angiras Council split, the Archangel Tyrael cast the final vote to spare us from extermination.
Thanks, Tyrael.
Instead, the memory of all that came before was taken from humankind, including knowledge of their inherited power.
My wares are both
ancient for their
ancient
part in leading
and
Sanctuary
powerful.
alone, the Burning Hells took Inarius into their custody.
Oh shit.
And it is said that he has suffered unending torment at their hands ever since.
Damn.
Of course, it is not the nature of the Burning Hells to leave well enough alone. And before long, more attempts to corrupt humankind were underway.
This fucking asshole,
the lesser
man.
evils, led by Asmodan and Belial, staged an uprising that upset the established order of the Burning Hells.
Oh my god.
Convinced the prime evils had abandoned the eternal conflict in favor of corrupting humanity, the usurpers set out to banish the three prime evils to Sanctuary. They lost fully 1/3 of their army, but they succeeded in banishing Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo into the mortal realm.
I guess that's
what
Diablo
comes to be
too?
known as the Dark Exile. They spent decades spreading terror, hatred, and destruction across the land. It is here that the story of the Haradrim begins, when Tyrael assembled a group of powerful mages and tasked them with humanity's defense, standing fast against the tyranny of the prime evils and guarding against the wrathful eyes of the heavens, falling upon humankind once again. Tyrael carved 3 soul stones from pieces of the World Stone, crystalline prisons designed to contain the malignant essence of a prime evil. Sapphire for Mephisto, Amber for Baal, and Crimson for Diablo.
Those are gems.
Under Tyrael's guidance, the Haradrim searched across the vastness of Sanctuary for the Lords of Hell, with the aim to contain them. The Haradrim found Mephisto, and after much struggle imprisoned him. The Sapphire Soulstone was given to the Zakarum for safekeeping. They also battled Baal, but in the process the Soulstone intended for him was shattered. The Order's leader, Tal Rasha, trapped Baal's essence in the largest shard of the Amber Soulstone, but feared that was insufficient. The Haradrim concluded they could fuse the shard to a human body in an effort to better contain Baal's power.
That sounds like a mistake.
Tal Rasha selflessly volunteered his own body to contain the Lord of Destruction's raging
That
essence.
sounds dumb. Why would they do that?
Tyrael himself took up the solemn duty of driving the shard into Tal Rasha's heart.
This is...
The grieving Haradrim sealed away their noble leader within a subterranean tomb, believing they were leaving him to suffer torment beyond imagination as he struggled to hold fast the monstrous Lord of Destruction for all of time.
Well, that
In the wake
sucks.
of this tragedy, Jared Kane took leadership of the bruised and battered mages. Together, the Haradrim spent nearly 10 years following Diablo's path of terror through Sanctuary, until finally coming to blows and containing him within the Crimson Soulstone.
Nice, you put him in the rock.
Diablo's Soulstone was carefully hidden deep in a labyrinthian cave system by the Haradrim. To guard the great evil hidden in its depths, a Haradric monastery was built atop the caves. The hope, I believe, was that it would never be disturbed.
That didn't
and that
happen.
Diablo would be forgotten in the great below, his influence fading with time. But that was not to be.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Say the
Prison
third
can last
game.
forever. So long as a key exists, its door can be opened.
Yeah, because, yeah.
The land near that small monastery would eventually be settled, and the quiet, prosperous town of Tristram was founded there.
Oh, yeah.
None could have known, except perhaps Diablo, the grim fate that would befall the unfortunate souls that called Tristram home. Over time, foreign powers influenced the land, and Tristram became politically significant. At the behest of the Zakharum Church, and guided by Archbishop Lazarus, a Zakharum lord named Leoric crowned himself King of Kandurus.
Oh,
and made
Leoric.
Tristram his capital.
I'm sure he'll do
He
really
converted
well.
the old Haradric monastery into his seat of power, unaware of the threat that lurked beneath.
Yeah.
Leoric was wise and just, ushering in an era of peace and prosperity for
Oh,
Tristram.
what a nice guy.
But with time, his outlook darkened.
What?
And he grew irrational,
What?
his mind slipping towards madness and paranoia.
No.
The king began ordering the execution of any who questioned him. People started calling him the Black King.
Oh.
He declared war on the neighboring kingdom of Westmarch, in part thanks to Lazarus's counsel, an unjust and unwinnable war. Leoric's eldest son, Aidan, joined the fight, seeking approval from his father. Shortly after Aidan's departure, Leoric's youngest son, Albrecht, went missing. Leoric tortured and executed many of his own people in his frenzy to find his son.
This guy seems like an
His knights,
asshole.
freshly returned from the war and appalled at the state of their kingdom, were forced to slay the Black King to stop the brutality.
He's like a dick.
In an attempt to honor the man he had been, Leoric was given a proper burial in the old catacombs.
Well, that's good. He'll stay there, I'm
Aidan
sure.
too returned to find a kingdom in shambles. Rumors of the horrific happenings in Tristram spread, along with the news of the appearance of demonic creatures, and brought adventurers to Tristram. Two such adventurers joined Prince Aidan when he entered the catacombs to find his brother Albrecht.
Uh-oh.
During this harrowing journey, Aidan was forced to strike down his own father, who had been reanimated as a foul entity called the Skeleton King.
That's right.
Continuing on, Aidan soon found Diablo himself.
I'm
After
Aidan.
a great battle of fire and steel, the Lord of Terror was defeated.
Yeah, beat the fuck out of him. It's
But
not a big
this
deal.
ending is not a happy one. For Diablo had twisted young Albrecht's body into his own demonic form. In slaying the demon, Aidan had slain his younger brother. Distraught, Aidan pulled the soul stone from Albrecht and plunged it into his own body. In the weeks that followed, Aidan would seek comfort.
Bro, like, this lore is fucking brutal. Like, see, like, this is the shit that, like, Blizzard used to do. Whenever I was talking about, like, big, hairy, sweaty men killing each other, I was talking about this. Very specifically. None of this panda shit. None of these, like, little funny Marvel quips. Nope, there's the Skeleton King, and he comes back, and you have to kill him, and then you kill Diablo, but it also kills your brother, so you take the soul, the shard of Diablo's soul, and pierce your own body with it. You know, like, yeah, this is just, yeah, that's what happened. And Arius literally tortured in a room of mirrors where his eyelids were torn off and his wings were pulled apart by Mephisto. Yeah. And, like, now in Dragonlands, you know, like, fucking Anduin cries. What's he crying for? What the fuck?
Be welcome,
A
traveler.
local witch named Adria.
They're skinny
Slowly succumbing
dragons.
to Diablo's influence, Aiden eventually traveled east from Tristram and became known as the Dark Wanderer, set on liberating Bale and Mephisto. As the Dark Wanderer traveled east, a new group of adventurers arrived in Tristram. They rescued Deckard Cain from the ruins of Tristram, who implored them to give chase. Soon the party found themselves taking part in a dangerous pursuit of the Lord of Terror. Following the Dark Wanderer's path towards the tomb of Tal Rasha, the adventurers would face the lesser evils of Andariel and Duriel, who had rallied to Diablo's aid. Instead of Tal Rasha, they discovered Tyrael imprisoned in the tomb.
Oh.
Bale, still using Tal Rasha as a vessel, had escaped imprisonment to join Diablo in his guise as the Dark Wanderer. Together they had overcome
Is this east always east?
Tyrael and trapped him in the prison he'd made for Bale so long ago.
Yeah.
The heroes pressed on to find Mephisto, the Lord of Hate.
See this shit? You see this? You see this? There ain't no fucking furry ears here. This guy's skinny because he's a fucking skeleton. Yeah. There's only big, hairy, sweaty men.
Deep in the jungles of Kurast.
Killing
Once
demons.
more, the heroes were too late to stop Diablo, as he shed what little of Aiden remained, reverting to his monstrous demonic form before returning to the burning hells to rally his demonic legions.
You hear that? That's right.
Mephisto remained behind, believing he could defeat the brave pursuers. His confidence was misplaced. The Lord of Hatred was defeated and sealed in the Sapphire Soulstone.
Get your ass beat.
The heroes followed the Lord of Terror into the burning hells, thinking only of Sanctuary, and not the grim fate that likely awaited them there. At Tyrael's request, the heroes confronted the corrupted angel Isuel on the Plains of Despair. In slaying him, the heroes freed Isuel's spirit, and he informed them that the prime evils knew how to corrupt the Soulstones.
That was Act 4,
With this
right?
information, Cain sent the heroes to the Hellforge to destroy the Sapphire Soulstone.
That was a dick sucker.
In the hopes that this would prevent Mephisto from manifesting in this world ever again. Once there, they had to defeat a demon called Hephasto the Armorer, a towering monstrosity with wide horns. His powerful arms strengthened by thousands and thousands of strikes with his Hellforge hammer against the anvil. After successfully destroying the Sapphire Soulstone, the heroes traveled deep into the wastes of the burning hells to face the Lord of Terror himself.
See this fucking shit again, guys? You see this? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is what it used to be, boys. There ain't no furries in here, bruh. Ain't nobody got time to cry, bitch. You just got time to die. It's fucking Diablo. Even the demons have big muscles.
Traveled deep into the wastes of the burning hells to face the Lord of
good.
Terror himself. They fought a fierce, pitched battle against increasingly dire odds deep in Diablo's own realm.
Yep.
But the heroes fought and defeated Diablo. They pulled the shard from Diablo's head, trapping his essence inside.
Listen how badass that
Returned
is.
to the Hellforge to destroy it as well. With this momentous achievement, only Bale remained to threaten Sanctuary.
That's the Lord of Destruction.
Unfortunately for us, even one primeval can unleash inconceivable devastation.
Yep, that was the DLC right there.
As the heroes struggled with Diablo in hell, Bale, Lord of Destruction, set his demonic army on a course to Mount Ariat, annihilating all in his path on the way to his prize, the World Stone. Survivor accounts describe the primeval atop his litter, surveying the barbarian city of Secheron with ravenous malice and an insatiable lust for carnage. His vision for Sanctuary was a wasteland stained with blood.
Well, that sucks.
It is both humbling and horrifying.
See, like, listen to that. Why does Bale want to kill everybody? Because his vision is a wasteland stained with blood. And he's going to kill everybody for that to happen. Because he's a prime evil and he's from the burning hells and he wants to kill everybody. He's called the Lord of Destruction. Yeah, that's right.
Close he was to achieving that goal. Thanks to the bravery of the barbarians in the town of Haragath at the base of Mount Ariat, Bale's army was temporarily repelled, buying time enough for reinforcements and the heroes that had slain Diablo and Mephisto to arrive. They fought their way through Bale's army, up the mountain, and finally into the very heart of Sanctuary, the World Stone Keep. Though our heroes ultimately defeated Bale, they could not stop his poisonous malice from infecting the World Stone.
That's because they need a new game to
A
come
difficult
out.
choice had to be made, and so it was. Tyrael chose to destroy the World Stone rather than let it fall to corruption.
Boom, bitch.
He hurled his great sword Eldruin at the World Stone, shattering it. Some of its shards fell to earth, imbued with power. The World Stone was nearly as large as the mountain that housed it, and its destruction turned the imposing peak of Mount Ariat into nothing more than a vast crater. Local settlements and tribes scattered to the wind, many forced to seek new homes. And it is in this new world, deeply wounded by the treachery of the primevals, that the next chapter in our history unfolded.
Yeah, see, there's not really a happy ending. It's just that the Lord of Destruction didn't kill everybody. Yeah,
the tragic
that's...
tale of Lear,
Yeah.
Diablo's assault on heaven, and Malthael's betrayal, and why so few of us remain.
I really want to hear the Diablo 3 one,
Take care
man.
in the darkness.
Because I didn't
Lurking
play
out
Diablo
there in the
2,
wind.
so I only understand a little bit of that. But man, that was fucking badass, dude. Dude, this is what it used to be. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, listen.
I have many
like, y'all want to
mystic
see some
items
shit? Like,
for
this is
sale.
Diablo 2 is so good. This is what it used to be. Y'all need to get this. This is what Blizzard used to do. Okay? Right here. It's an orc, okay? It's an orc with like a broken sword, and like it's a hammer with a sword coming out of it, and he has a guy's head that he cut off his head, and he's holding it up, and he has the icon of the Horde. This is how manly and how masculine it used to be. Those were the Rangers and the Troll Berserkers from Warcraft 2. That right there was Anduin Lothar. Every single picture here absolutely oozed with like just pure masculinity.